of 98 plunged Spain into a period of soul-searching, and with its empire practically gone, the country turned its attention to Africa, establishing a colonial foothold in Morocco in the early 20th century. Although King Alfonso XIII kept Spain neutral during World War I, which briefly boosted the economy, post-war crises soon followed. In 1921, Spanish troops suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of Berber tribesmen in Morocco. The event became a national scandal and fueled widespread discontent among the military. By 1923, General Miguel Primo de Rivera staged a coup d'etat, establishing a dictatorship with the king's support. The constitution was suspended, and Primo de Rivera ruled autocratically as prime minister. Though the regime was born of illegitimacy, it enjoyed early success, ending the Moroccan conflict, stabilizing the economy, and investing in infrastructure. However, by 1930, amid economic downturn and eroding support, the regime unraveled. The monarchy, tainted by its association with the dictatorship, soon collapsed. In April 1931, elections showed overwhelming support for Republican candidates, prompting King Alfonso XIII to go into exile. The Second Spanish Republic was swiftly proclaimed. The Republic introduced sweeping reforms: a secular constitution, women's suffrage, land redistribution, regional autonomy, and curbs on church and military power. Although these changes alienated many conservative elements within the country, leading to further political polarization and violence. Throughout the early 1930s, a series of narrowly won elections swung Spain's political fortunes left and right, until in July 1936, military officers led by Francisco Franco launched a coup d'etat. However, they failed to win support across the entire country, thus triggering the outbreak of the Spanish Civil War. The nationalists, led by Franco, and comprising monarchists, fascists, and clergy, faced the Republicans, who were made up of liberals, socialists, communists, and anarchists. The war quickly became internationalized against the broader geopolitical backdrop of the time. Nazi Germany and fascist Italy backed Franco, while the Soviet Union, along with many international volunteers, supported the Republic. The war was brutal, with both sides committing atrocities, such as the bombing of Guernica. Eventually, the nationalists, through better organization and greater support, triumphed when they captured Madrid in 1939, and Franco promptly declared victory. An estimated 350,000 Spaniards died in the conflict, and hundreds of thousands fled abroad, leaving behind a country that was shattered, traumatized, and now under a new dictatorship. Franco established an authoritarian, ultra-conservative state. The monarchy was suspended, the Falange became the only legal party, and thousands of Republicans were executed or imprisoned. The regime promoted Catholicism, censored dissent, and suppressed regional languages and identities such as Basque, Catalan, and Galician, in favor of a unified Spanish identity rooted in Castilian culture. During the Second World War, although sympathetic to the Axis powers, Franco kept Spain officially neutral, sparing the country from the destruction that engulfed much of the continent. After the war, Spain was somewhat politically isolated, but the onset of the Cold War changed this. Western powers, valuing Franco's staunch anti-communism, re-engaged with his regime and opened military bases in exchange for financial aid. In the 1950s and 60s, Franco's government implemented liberal economic reforms, giving rise to the so-called Spanish Miracle, during which rapid industrialization, tourism, and foreign investment transformed Spain into a modern economy. Living standards rose, though inequality and repression persisted, particularly among students and regional nationalists. As the 1970s began, many Spaniards began to wonder what would happen once the aging and childless Franco passed away. He named Prince Juan Carlos, grandson of Alfonso XIII, as his successor, hoping to preserve Francoism for years to come. However, when Franco died in 1975 and Juan Carlos ascended the throne, he surprised many by leading Spain's peaceful transition to democracy. He appointed reformist Adolfo Suarez as prime minister, legalized political parties, and held free elections in 1977. A new democratic constitution followed in 1978, establishing a parliamentary monarchy and recognizing Spain's regional diversity through a system of autonomous communities. The remaining decades of the 20th century saw democratic Spain integrate into the Western world, joining NATO in 1982 and the European Economic Community in 1986. The nation experienced prosperity and global prominence never seen before, symbolized by hosting the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona. This prosperity continued into the new millennium, but the global financial crisis of 2008 brought much of this progress to a halt, leading to massive unemployment and the implementation of austerity measures to stabilize the country's faltering finances. In the years since, Spain has put itself on the path to recovery, showing signs of a revitalized economy. Although it continues to face internal challenges, such as the Catalan independence movement and questions about the future role of the monarchy, Spain today stands as the stable, democratic nation it has long aspired to be, having resiliently endured centuries of turmoil, division, and constant transformation that have come to define its past.